YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. It is the recap of the NFL regular season. We get to talk a little bit of stuff about playoffs. Obviously, we'll talk our futures bets. I know we haven't been on here much lately, but we're back here today, ready to talk some football. Stu, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Can't complain. Had a nice weekend, which was always good. Had a good football game last night, obviously. One of the more, memorable fourth quarters of the season. Heated division rivalry. I'm obviously in the DMV area, which means I have a lot of Ravens fans. I saw a lot of crashing out on social media, a lot of, stuff like that, which rightfully so. So, I just enjoyed it. Good week. I love the backups. If you followed the show, whether NBA, NFL, whatever, over these last couple of years, I love these kind of slates. You get all the guys that no one's ever heard of, but, I watched the preseason, all that stuff. So, good week for me. Excited to get into the postseason now and go from, weird football that doesn't matter for most of these games to the most important football of the year.
Yeah, it's playoffs, man. It's playoffs. It's exciting time, obviously. We'll obviously talk about it a little bit throughout the week as we get our other shows rolling here. But, yeah, it's exciting. I don't know how happy you are. Obviously, I saw the Washington won. I know that was not on your bingo card or things that you wanted to happen. So how are you feeling today? What are they, 7 now? I think they're the 7th pick.
7, yeah. They went back from 5 to 7 by winning that one. And then the Eagles obviously screw themselves as well. The one thing, first off, from watching that game, I know a lot of fantasy football bros were going back and deleting their Tanner McKee tweets because holy shit, that guy looked awful. And this is a Washington defense that, Dan Campbell's a motivator, or sorry, not Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn is a motivator, similar to Dan Campbell, actually, where these are, the rah, hype you up. They're not going to quit on the last game of the year. But if you watch the secondary all year long, it was backup quarterbacks could be dicing these guys up, So to see him come in with all the hype, with all the local media love, the preseason love, he had a good week 18 last year. He did not impress me whatsoever. I was, quite the opposite. So that was interesting. But yeah, Washington winning a meaningless game was kind of a bummer, obviously. Just because, you want the better draft pick at this point. But, maybe we trade back still. I don't know. Washington needs a decent amount of help. I'm hoping that with the Cleveland Browns firing Stefanski and likely Jim Schwartz is going to be fired as well. I believe he's one of the best defensive coordinators in football. I'm very much hoping that Washington could pick up Schwartz because I don't think we're going to fire Quinn. So it's not like we're going to be needing a new head coach, but we absolutely need a new defensive coordinator. And Schwartz, I think, is going to be one of the best in football. It has been one of the best in football, no doubt about it. And obviously, when you bring in a new coaching staff, they normally are going to bring in a whole new staff themselves. So I think anyone would be lucky to get Schwartz, but I'm hopefully Washington can win the bidding there because our defense is absolute dog shit. We're going to need more than a 7th overall pick to fix it. We're going to need a couple defensive ends, couple linebackers, couple corner. We need everything. So when you have such a bad defense like that, you need one of these guys that can coach you up. And Schwartz has been doing that, for a decent amount of time. So that was kind of my takeaway from this morning, at least. But yeah, definitely a bummer that they won the game for no apparent reason.
Yeah, and I guess you're not even the worst one in that. I think the Raiders are probably even more mad. They would have, right? Was it the Raiders or the Giants? I think it was the Giants, maybe?
I wasn't following exactly. The Giants definitely fucked themselves.
They could have got the 1 because I think the Raiders won too, right? If they would have lost, I think the Raiders won. That would have put them in to the 1, and then they both won this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know the exact details of how it was going to shake out, but the point is, the Giants have been looking like they've been taking for 3 weeks. So why are you winning this one? Like they were running down 17 just a couple weeks ago, just ending the clock. So Jackson Dart, good luck next year. Well, can we get an over/under concussions on the year? I don't know if that's unethical. I don't want to encourage that, but maybe Kalshi, one of these, unethical websites, Polymarket, maybe they'll put it up for us because God, this guy. I know a lot of people are happy, I guess, on the Giants side. He's had some flashes. He looks like he's going to be an okay quarterback. But, man, I don't know if I'm sold yet. I don't know if the guy's going to make it through even half of a season. So that'll be interesting as well. And a new head coach, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know if concussions is the way to go. I think the way to go is how many tent visits, bro. Because of how many times they force him in there. It might be over half a game, bro, honestly. Where you take that. Because they send him in there, and I don't think they – have you ever taken a concussion test? Have you ever taken one before? Nope. So when I was playing every sport in college, they made us do one just in case, right? Just in case you obviously get one. That shit is fucking hard, dude. Like that, like I could, if I did it once, I can guarantee you if I did well, I am not beating that again. So it's like, it's really hard, like to do those concussion testing. I remember us having to do it every year and redo it every single time. And I'm like, I really hope I don't get hit in the fucking head, dude. Because I am immediately failing this. Because I'd probably fail it if I do it right now, and I'm just fucking sitting here fine. But yeah, very interesting, very hard thing to get through for sure.
Well, you know how when an NBA player like early in their career commits a bunch of fouls and, like technicals. So now whenever you do anything minor, you're going to get a technical. Jackson Dart is the injury version of that, right? Where it's become so national that now every time the guy's head bounces up and down, he's going to get pulled by the spotter out of the game because everyone in the world knows that this guy is concussion prone. So it's kind of like a, self-fulfilling prophecy a little bit where he got banged up and now he's going to be kind of, on edge every time he goes down because, he's a guy that's, clearly labeled as a concussion risk. So good luck to him. Maybe he can get one of those padded helmets for next year, maybe double padded, even double what your boy Romeo Doubs has over there. And maybe
I don't know. That might be I don't know if it's just because he's a receiver and he's out on the outside, but dude, that thing looks double the size of everybody else. It doesn't look that big on the lineman, dude. It looks like normal, but then I watch him and I'm like, damn, dude, that thing is fucking huge. Like, yeah, I didn't know if anybody else noticed that, but yeah, his looks way bigger than everybody else's. But
no, that's why I brought it up. Like, you always know when Romeo Doubs is catching the ball, even if you don't like know his number or anything like that, because it's like, oh yeah, he's got the huge fucking helmet on.
Yeah, it's mega. It's one of those mega ones. So let's get through our. I mean, these are I think we had 2 L's from last Monday. And then we had a Wednesday show and then nothing Friday. I believe that's how we did it with all of the stuff. Actually, no Wednesday show.
No Wednesday.
I don't think we did Wednesday or Friday because of the holidays and just no times matching up. So first time seeing you guys in a while, I think a full week. So I missed this one because Puka only had 5 catches. The over smash, Bijan obviously did his thing there. Really wish that the Rams would have won that game so I could have, not had to worry about all the crap that happened last week or this week because they would have been locked into the 6, but it is what it is. And then I believe Corum ended up getting hurt in like the second quarter, I believe, right?
Yeah, after out carrying freaking Kyron early, gets hurt, bummer. I felt like the read was really good here, but yeah, no. And also they got their asses whooped in the game as well. Like the early usage was good, but the Falcons came out and ended the season with a couple useless wins themselves. I mean, they don't have their own draft pick, so I guess they're incentivized to continue winning, but yeah, that'll be interesting. So they have a good defense, honestly, and a good defensive coordinator. With them firing their coach, I'm curious what happens to both their OC and their DC. I think Robinson and I forget who the DC is have done a good job this year.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with that one. That was like the only one I really was surprised with. The tough part is like Stefanski might get signed in like the next 2 or 3 days, bro. Like,
yep.
Like that's crazy to me. Like, I think they drafted and knew all this swirling shit would happen in the media with drafting Shedeur and stuff. You'd think, because you have a guy who's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, pretty big time. Like, this dude isn't a bum. You'd think that people wouldn't like talk all this shit about him in these spots, and yet they still found a way to do it and run him out of town. But shout out to whoever gets him, man. That's going to be a big pickup.
I know it's interesting. Like a lot of my sports Twitter is like pretty curated with like people I respect, really smart people. And you just see the like, oh boy, like people are going to be lining up for Stefanski. And then you accidentally find yourself on like an ESPN Instagram post and everyone's like, Stefanski fucking sucks. And you're like, yep. What game are you guys? Like, damn, this guy's won Coach of the Year, twice. Like, I know. It's like, I don't know what you could possibly expect given what he was given this year. And even going forward, who's a better candidate? Who wants to go to Cleveland? You got freaking Deshaun Watson, I guess, maybe going to come back next year, or Shedeur Sanders. Like, that's the dynamic duo nobody fucking wants. So, I don't know, man. You're obviously not going to upgrade from Stefanski, especially with a weak coaching class like this. So yeah, good luck and shout out to whoever is going to bring him in, because I agree that's going to be an instant upgrade for a vast majority of teams out there. And yeah, I guess Raheem doesn't surprise me, honestly, getting canned. Just because, once again, I liked the OC. I liked the DC. I thought they did a lot of smart things. Special teams fucking sucked, and decision making fucking sucked. So if you're going to be one of these general manager type coaches, those are the two things you can't fuck up. And he was awful at both of them. So in my opinion, it's like, he probably did do some good in there as well, but there was just too much negative, and especially for a team that wants to be a playoff team. But honestly, their GM did kind of fuck them a little bit by giving Kirk Cousins all this money and then saying, never mind.
That's what I mean. They kind of him, and then obviously very injury-prone Michael Penix. Like, I don't mind Penix, but like you drafted the oldest quarterback with knee problems and then paid Kirk, where you need a lot of things upgraded. But yeah, that defense was good. I just was saying, like, if it happened again next year, yeah, but they played really well in those last like 3 or 4 games. They looked really fucking good, and you think they'd want to ride that a little bit. Last thing, did you see Drake London getting mad at the touchdown? Did you see that?
I saw the clip, but I didn't know what I just saw him throwing his helmet or whatever, getting angry. I didn't know what happened, but
honestly, dude, I don't know either. But I watched the play. I'm like, well, I'd be pissed too if I'm the fucking 5th option. I've been standing here wide open as a number 1 receiver here for 3 seconds. There was nobody guarding him. It was completely blown coverage, and Kirk still took that long to go find him. So I'd imagine that's the last game I'm ever going to see Kirk Cousins play because he's fucking horrible. But
I mean, in the second half, Kirk was just as good as Penix was. Like Penix, he actually was better than Penix was. So I don't know. I don't like Penix. Penix just hyper targeted Drake London, which was good at times, but I don't know. The guy I like here is Kubiak. I think Kubiak would be sharp.
That's the kid, right? That's the kid.
Yeah, with he was Seahawks now and he was Saints last year. And he loves running the ball and he loves play action. That sounds like Penix to me. And obviously Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. And he has one of the highest run rates in football, if not the highest, with freaking, Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. So add that to this two-headed monster. And then you can, play action bombs to Drake London. He made Sam Darnold look good. I think he can make Penix look good. So that's my favorite coach to team spot so far. But if that falls back and for whatever reason people don't think Kubiak is experienced enough, I think what could be interesting, and I don't think it's going to happen, would be the Raiders. Because then you give him Genty, you give him Bowers, and maybe the first overall pick. I don't know what the rest of the team's going to look like. You need about 15 offensive linemen. But, that could be a nice backup as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the Jets are going to be able to do too much. Unfortunately, I don't know what they're going to even do with that roster. But, let's talk some futures here, Stu. We actually get to talk about our futures. We're finally done with them. Let's get out the bad shit right away. We'll get those out of the way. Obviously, we talked about Ridley a little bit last time out, but, I mean, he got DK almost 1,000 yards too, dude. And obviously Ridley was significantly better than him. So, maybe Ridley got hurt on purpose, so you get my guy from the Badgers, the highest all-purpose yards of a rookie ever. So maybe he did that. That's a team player right there.
Yeah, I mean, Ridley, I don't know. It's just, I liked him a lot before the season, but obviously that was a huge he got injured real early, and that's what happens when you bet futures sometimes. And honestly, this team did, like, maybe he would have just snuck over, but I don't even know if he was really on a path to go over. They were pretty rough in that first half of the year, so who knows? But obviously, yeah, injury definitely killed Ridley early on in this one.
Yeah, and let's pour one out for this one. This one really sucked, dude. I thought I had this one. Obviously, the Seattle game really hurt. Where Stafford threw for 450 in that one, and Seattle really had no thoughts there. I thought they would, sit him after the first half, but McVay went out there and tried to show it. Now I'm hopefully rooting for the Rams to lose.
Yeah, this was a bummer. Just especially if you were looking at this market seriously, Dak, Stafford, and Burrow were the three I think everyone was kind of honing in on. And one of the major things with Stafford is in back-to-back years with just seating on the line with, more minor stakes, not a win or go home, they bench Stafford and or it's all starters. McVay's been historically super conservative. He doesn't do preseason either, right? That's his whole thing. So to reverse course on it this year and do it, I mean, there's just a bummer. And obviously, too, I'm big on Drake May MVP now, unfortunately, and it does not look like he's going to win. I think Stafford's going to win. So Stafford's back to favorite, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm just hoping at least Drake May can sneak out the MVP here.
Yeah, if it wasn't for last game and having to watch, I think he has the NFL record for 1 yard passing touchdowns. So hopefully they start putting that in there. I think he has 16 this year. 16 1 yard passing touchdowns. Like, come on now, bro. Like, I was hoping Stafford would have won a little while ago, but now I'm like, what's really changed? You got a team that's a 2 seed and I don't even think the Patriots are that good, to be honest, but I guess it's just because he's old.
Here's the thing. This is one of the best coaching years in modern history. The most competitive coach of the year, like bracket, 5, 6 guys that deserve it this year. And they're going to give Vrabel the credit over Drake May for turning this team around. And that's fucking ridiculous. Vrabel, if you gave me an option, right? All these guys, Shanahan, Cohen, McDonald, I'm picking all of these guys over Mike Vrabel. Like, Mike Vrabel was not the, oh my God, we got to get this guy. He's going to change it. And he's getting all the credit. It's like, no, it's your new franchise fucking quarterback that should be getting all the credit. And obviously they had the easiest schedule in football and they did what they had to. They kicked ass. And I wouldn't mind giving it to Stafford, but man, losing like that in prime time against the Falcons, you saw the odds flip. May went to like -300.
And he played shitty in those games.
Yeah. He did 100%.
3 pick sixes in 3 weeks. It was like that's why I don't know why. It's because fucking Dan Orlovsky tweeted, "Well, MVP's done, bro." Did we not watch last week? Did we not watch him lose to the fucking Panthers, bro? Like, I texted. I don't even know how many texts I have sent to you that says, "Well, that's not my MVP, bro." Throwing pick sixes. I think probably 19, and probably a lot of other things I shouldn't put on the show with things that need to happen to certain people, but for injuries. But it's all right. That's how the game is played. And yeah, I was sick, bro. I thought we had this one, and I was very surprised to see them go out there and play Stafford in really a meaningless game. It didn't matter if they lost. It didn't matter if they lost because obviously the Bears lost too. So, I wouldn't have moved anything else around. So, all right, Stu, let's get to like the actual good ones now. We can talk about these. These actually did push us over the 20 unit mark. We're at 20.2 units. We've been dinking around that 20 unit mark for these last couple of weeks, but now we get to take our victory laps.
Sounds good. Yeah, Jacksonville, baby. It looked like it was going real good early. Well, you had the Colts, which was scary, and then Daniel Jones, and then the Texans, who start out awful, come on this crazy run, leaves it to the last week. And even in the first quarter of these games, right? Cam Ward drives down the field, instant touchdown. And then in the other one, Riley Leonard's 66-yard bomb touchdown. I'm like, oh my God. Like, is this really going to happen right here? But, Jacksonville, luckily Cam Ward got hurt. And Jacksonville was likely going to win that game anyway, but didn't have to sweat. They kicked their ass. And yeah, great year from Jacksonville. Speaking of coaching, awesome coaching staff all around. I honestly like Jacksonville as a dark horse this year. When we talk about how much parity there is, how much opportunity there is for a long shot, I think Jacksonville is one of those teams that could come out here and surprise people. It's just kind of like, how high is the ceiling on this offense is the question. But yeah, Jacksonville took care of business. They impressed in the second half of the year. Big fan of the coaching staff all around. And yeah, happy we could get this dub right here because, there was not a lot of Jacksonville love. Obviously there's some Cohen love. There was maybe Trevor can be a better fantasy guy, but there was not a whole lot of let's buy Jacksonville before the season. And hey, they ended up on top, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this is what makes me feel good. And again, talk about coach of the year, bro. How the fuck is McDonald not the favorite, bro?
Agreed.
God damn, that defense is fucking good. And I think the funny thing was, I don't know who I saw tweeted. I wish I could give credit where it was due, but I saw it on Twitter. So, you do what we do. We see a lot of shit on Twitter. So it's tough to give credit on all these, but just how bad the Ravens defense got once McDonald left, and now Seattle just fucking flips immediately. Like, how is that not full-on coaching there? Like, I don't understand that, because Seattle was average last year, right? They were an average defense. They flipped it completely around. Obviously, you mentioned the offensive coordinator in there. That's obviously really helped with that. But how many of these games have been, they've had games where they've had to win, one-score games close, and then they've had these ones where they can, score 30, 35 points, right? So toughest division in football. And obviously, I said this on there, and I rewatched our little breakdowns on it. They were the lowest. And I said this like 20 times on that thing. How in the fuck are the Arizona Cardinals better odds to win this division than Seattle? baffled me, bro. Absolutely baffles me, and I'm just happy we got to cash it because that shit was just bonkers.
No, it's funny because we don't talk about any of our stuff before the show, and we get on here and you're like, I have Seattle. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that was like my second choice. I was like, I'm for once, like, we're fully on the same page here. And like you said, a team that was really not getting any respect, but I was a Kubiak guy, and obviously McDaniels last year had that Washington College guy, right? Calling plays. I forget his name.
Kirk Kingsbury.
No,
right?
Kingsbury was in
Washington
Cardinals. Yeah, I meant Washington, like college. He came up and was the OC for Grubb. Is that it? Ryan Grubb?
I blanking right now, bro.
Either way, doesn't matter. So you get an offensive, coordinator upgrade, and then you have McDonald, who, like you said, I mean, I agree, my coach of the year as well this season. Just a fantastic year, one of the best defensive scheming guys in football. And I mean, this was abundantly clear. If you watched his last season with the Ravens, I mean, this is a guy that had dog shit talent. I mean, there's a couple pieces, but for the most part, they were injured as hell, not a lot. And he is just doing some of the most creative shit you can see in football. And you're like, okay, give this guy some talent, give this guy some draft picks, and he's going to kick ass. And that's exactly what happened with Seattle. So awesome stuff. I like the win total a little bit more. I was a little more scared than you were of going all the way, just because of how tough this division is. But, Sam Darnold stuck in there even with a rougher second half, and that defense just kind of took over. So awesome stuff right here. Love Seattle getting the job done. Cashed a couple tickets.
Yeah, to see him at plus 450 in that market, just how? I mean, they're a better seed. They're in a better division. New England's played the weakest schedule, and just because Vrabel's, gone on a couple podcasts, I don't fucking know. I don't really know how you could justify that. I mean, if someone could, I would love for you to tell me. But I mean, Seattle did this without. I mean, JSN was there already. You went out for New England, and they got Stephon Diggs, right? It's not like they brought in pieces. Like, they didn't really bring in that many dudes for Seattle. Like, they had them, and they were just, not obviously as good as they were this year. But shout out to them for paying Cross as well. Obviously, they don't really talk about that too much, talk about tackles too much. But that means they're doing the job, right? When you're not talking about them, that means they're doing a pretty good job.
Yep, and they draft well. Obviously, Zabel was another guy, too, that I liked at the O-line. They picked him up. Then they got Eamon another guy that I liked. It was my highest graded draft, obviously, and both those guys fucking kicked ass this year. So just a good combination of everyone showing up, doing their job. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think Kubiak might get poached, but if they let him run it back next year, then, let's run this bet back again. Why not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But hey, I gotta give flowers to Darnold too, bro. Like, I mean, a lot of people talking shit about him, and well deserved. Last year was really bad in the big game, but man, dude, he showed out, man. He showed out in a lot of those big spots. Obviously, beating the Rams and then beating the Niners back to back, bro. Like, put some respect on him, man. I'm intrigued, even though it's weird they don't do well at home. They're a better road team, which is kind of wild, man. And you're the 1 seed.
Yeah, and one of the better home crowds in football, you know what I mean, as well. But, I mean, it's interesting, too, because Seattle, like, for the first half of every game, it feels like they're coaching like they hate Sam Darnold. And then the second half, they go, fuck it. And then he actually does pretty well. So it's interesting. I'm still curious how it'll look in the postseason, obviously. But, yeah, whole team showed up when it mattered the most.
Yes, sir. And, hey, I'll give shout out to Jeff because I rewatched this, obviously trying to find our numbers and stuff. Jeff was there, man. There was people saying something about Seattle. He was saying, "Hey, I appreciate you grabbing my birds," and I'm like, yeah, it's nice too because you look through all of those people. Everybody's putting their comments in there, and who was the other one? Thomas talking about RJ Harvey for his fantasy and best ball and stuff. I'm like, and ended up taking. I hope you got enough of them. Obviously he had a very good season. For where he was getting drafted. So, you look back on it 4 months ago, obviously, and you start to see some stuff come through, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that McDonald is not going to win. I mean, it's probably going to be fucking Vrabel, which is just, I don't know. It's like, there's so many good coaches here. I'd rather give it to Kellen Moore and even win anything. You know what I mean? But if you ask me if I'd rather have Kellen Moore or Vrabel, I'm taking Kellen Moore. But, whatever. That's how it goes. These guys, even Stafford, they're giving Stafford a legacy media award because he's awesome and everyone likes him. And sure, I guess he deserves it a little bit, but he wasn't the best quarterback in football this year, and when it mattered the most. So I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. That I hate awards, honestly. I really hate betting on awards, but it is what it is.
No, you know what? You want to know what it is? It's because Vrabel went on podcast this year, and you know who else went on podcast was fucking Stafford's wife, and everybody hated her. So now they have to like give him this award because they all were like, "Damn, she's just talking all this shit about some random dude about him in college." I'm like, God damn, man, this girl's got to stop talking on these podcasts, bro. And they're like, damn, Stafford's he should get an award for having to, deal with that all the time. So that's probably the other reason too. Not everybody should have a podcast, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say, honestly. Exactly what I was going to say. You just see those clips every once in a while, you're like, damn, good luck. Like that's rough. That's rough. I don't know. Just even anyone talking that much about their personal life or random stuff like that's always kind of like some things don't have to go on the internet. You don't have to share everything, but it is what it is.
Oh God, that was funny. That was funny. I didn't think that was going to come up on this recap season show here. But all right, Stu. Anything else you want to talk about here? Obviously, we'll have stuff throughout the week with props and breaking down the games and stuff like that. Anything else you want to talk about here, or are we just dipping out and closing out the regular season with that 20 units?
I got a question for you. I feel like it's being talked about all over Twitter. If you're the Ravens, right? Obviously, everything goes wrong last night. You have those amazing Lamar plays. Are you firing Harbaugh? It seems like a lot of people really want to on Twitter. I'm curious if you're on the let him come back, or are you ready to try something new?
I don't know. I felt bad because I saw, again, I don't remember who tweeted this, but Lamar, they lost the one on the fumble, right? The fumble on the 1 yard line against the Chiefs, right? That was, I think that was Zay Flowers like 2 or 3 years ago, right? Then they had the one against Josh Allen, and then this one that defense just got eviscerated in the fourth quarter. To have Aaron Rodgers throw the ball 30-plus yards on the field, he doesn't do that ever. And to do that without DK Metcalf, your defense getting shredded that bad is, I don't know. I think it's just become sour. People just keep talking about it, so you might as well. But I mean, whoever gets that job, fuck, you get to go and just have a fucking perennial MVP, and then on these other ones, you're fucking dealing with Geno Smith. You're dealing with fucking broken bones, Jacoby Brissett, right? I mean, those are the things you're competing with. Deshaun Watson, and then fuck, I don't know. Would that be wild? Stefanski goes right into another division and goes to the top.
I mean, if I were Stefanski and the Ravens job opens up, that's the best job. You got fucking Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to go beat their ass twice a year.
So, I would do that 100%. But yeah, I just don't know if they're going to fire Harbaugh. I can see both sides to it. It's kind of one of those, you look at all these names that are getting interviewed, and it's like, one, I'm not really a big fan of hiring defensive coordinators as head coaches for the most part. I think you should always hire an offensive guy. Otherwise, guess what? Your offensive guy is going to get poached. Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, and he's going to go somewhere else, and they're going to kick your ass. So you get, 1 or 2 good years, and then they go elsewhere and become a head coach. So for me, there's a lot more good defensive coordinators available as defensive coordinators, and that just makes this hard because who are the guys that are options? Like Matt Nagy is getting hired or interviews again. It's like, really?
Lou Amarillo or whatever the fuck.
Lou's fun. I like Lou, but I mean, I'm not hiring him as a head coach. I'd rather Vance Joseph, if anything, but I'm not hiring Vance Joseph either. We don't need more old defensive guys. He's a fantastic defensive coordinator, and he should just continue to be a fantastic defensive coordinator. So I don't know, when you look around, it's like, well, would I trade a Harbaugh for Vance Joseph or, some of these guys? I'm like, probably not. So I don't know. I just think the vibes in the building need to change. So I would understand a firing, but I do think Harbaugh would be another one that teams would probably scoop up, especially some of these unserious teams that are trying to get back on track. The Giants, right? The Browns, the Raiders. Like, you give a guy like Harbaugh, he makes your program more serious. You're not not going to be bullshitting around like the fucking Giants have been these last couple of years. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious how that goes. I think he probably ends up staying personally. But after a loss like that, it's interesting. If those 2 Lamar throws didn't happen, he gets fired. But I think Lamar bails him out by playing Superman with those awesome throws. Because otherwise, what's the game log? Lamar would have thrown the ball like 12 times that game if he didn't hit those throws. So I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, there's just not a lot of great options. Like, I don't know who you're replacing Harbaugh with. Cliff Kingsbury, I heard it getting a Titans interview. It's like, I guess, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like any clear upgrades to me personally. The one guy I do like if we're going defense is Jesse Minter for the Chargers. Minter's a fucking dog. He's not getting enough attention. He's got 48-year-old retired Tony Jones out there making plays every week. No talent. Benjamin St-Juste, Washington bust, making plays. Like, I don't know. This guy, he gets a good defense together. It's not like McDonald level, but I think he would be the defensive guy I would look to if I had to, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm sorry. I was not laughing at you, Sue. I was going through the awards and like all the odds. How in the fuck? And I get it. The guy got hurt. I get it. But Christian McCaffrey being a comeback player of the year, that dude was literally a top 3 player in football 3 years in a row, gets hurt, and then does what he was doing before. Like, how is that it? Trevor Lawrence should win that award.
Yeah, I agree.
1,000,000,000%. And he's plus 500. Like, what a step forward for Lawrence. Everybody fucking wanted him out after what, 2 years, 2.5 years. They're all saying he was falling apart like Clemson's falling apart now. But fuck, dude, how are you going to give that to McCaffrey? That dude's literally was a top 3 running back in football for what, 8 years already? And he's doing what he normally does. Yeah. He does what he does every time.
I think the thing is when you post like an 1,000, 900 season like that. I guess he didn't hit 1,000. But,
yeah, no, he missed it.
Yeah, but
and he did it already though. He did it already.
Yeah, I know he did.
1,000.
But I don't know. I'm fully there with you. I would be voting Trevor as well. But honestly, I will say it is impressive that CMC got injured the way he has and then carried the biggest workload in football the way he has this year. That is impressive. And that team without CMC, even though he hasn't been particularly efficient, would be in a way, way worse spot. So I get it, but I'm fully there with you. It's like, hasn't this guy won enough fucking awards in his career? Like, Trevor Lawrence was the actual guy that people were legit ready to give up on, like fully like bust. And then, he comes out and division winner in a tough division. So I'm with you.
No, this is not, you don't need to be hurt to do it.
That's
a lot of the times they have recently. I feel like since the thing with, what's his face from the Bills?
Hamlin.
Yeah. Since that, bro, they've just been fucking doing it like that.
It's as of last year. It's not like official, but they put out a thing that's pretty much like you got to get injured and come back now. Like that's the new thing going forward. But also, all these awards are so fucking stupid anyway. Hamlin should have won as well, by the way. The guy fucking died. Give him the fucking award. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. I don't know. It's it is what it is. These awards are so dumb. You're not trying to predict who deserves anything. You're just trying to predict weird, like whatever these dumbass Dan Orlovsky voters think. If you read through those voters, you'd be shocked. Some of these people, Emmanuel Ocho gets to vote on this bullshit. Like, really,
dude? Thank you for bringing up his name. I didn't want to be the guy to do it again, but I think somebody tweeted the best tweet I've seen in a while. He's like the generational run. I think it might have been that Ian. Do you know what I'm talking about? That Ian
McMillan?
No, Ian H. It's like Hen something.
Horitz or whatever. Yeah. The PFF guy. He's funny. Yeah.
Dude tweets. He's like, "Could you ever be on a generational run this bad ever?" And it's him just leaving his workout saying, "How the hell are you gonna draft Tyler Shuck over Shedeur Sanders? This has gone too far." And then Tyler Shuck's literally fucking out here leading a garbage team to wins with no Dante Bailey, no Chris Ola. Like, this dude is going off. And this guy's like, what a generational run this guy is on. This dude has been fucking horrible. He's fucking fade everything. Just fade everything this guy says. And it almost makes me have to hate his brother for the amount of hate I have to watch him. His brother does these college football games, and I'm like, all right, he's not that bad. But I'm like, you look like him, so now I hate him. Right? You know what I mean? They look like identical. I'm like, oh, man, all this dude just talking so much shit. I'm like, I almost have to. It's just like, I don't remember what it is in math, like the transitive property, whatever the hell that is, where it's like, if this goes here, then this has to go here. This has to be, right? So it's like, now I have to just not like the guy, even though could be a good guy. It's just your brother just ruined it for you.
Yeah, his brother's so fucking annoying that anytime you just see that face, you're like, oh boy, I don't want to hear this guy talk. And yeah, Ocho, I mean, that guy's been on mute for me, and I don't even use mute or anything like that. he's been on mute for like 3 years. Like I haven't seen anything, like everything I've seen about him has been against my will, So it would be real nice if Herbert could cook Drake May in prime time and we can make him look even dumber right there, because that guy hates Herbert more than anyone else on the planet, I think, which is kind of crazy. But
yeah, no, I didn't want to be that guy to bring him up, and then you brought him up. I'm like, yes.
Well, I saw him on the voter list for this shit. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like the fact that the hot take guy on whatever, he's not even on anything anymore.
He's got to do YouTube only now since
So it's like this guy deserves to vote on important shit that, we're going to remember years and, whatever. It is what it is at this point. It's pretty much all this stuff is like all it died is when fucking Snoop Huntley got a Pro Bowl or whatever it was, or no pro. Like what that moment he got that, I was like, all right, no one cares about any of these made up awards anymore. So,
Yeah, and you notice how we didn't pick any fucking awards for our fucking futures for that specific reason. Because I would feel so good about Mike McDonald winning this one. And then I'm having to look at a team that's played the easiest schedule in football. And, and he's going to win it, I guess. So, luckily for us, we don't have to worry about that, right? So we're chilling. Anything else from you, Stu, before we get out of here? Obviously, back on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, looking at these games, I guess Riley Leonard was kind of good. That was one thing.
Yeah, he looked really good.
I mean, I was surprised. It's also like, why does he look good against the Texans, and why did we then bring Phillip Rivers back? Like, it's kind of like what was the deal there? But either way, it's like if you
had a fake injury, bro. You had a fake injury.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I'm curious. I guess Steichen might hate him, so I don't know. Maybe release him, let him go somewhere else so he can be a backup. That one was one that caught me off guard. Trubisky also looked good with how bad these quarterbacks are. I'm wondering if Trubisky could get himself in like a timeshare or maybe even a shot at the starter role. Maybe that might be overreacting a little bit. Joe Milton, kind of dog shit, unfortunately.
He's a running back, bro. He's a running back.
McKee, pretty dog shit as well. Shuck looked very good. Awesome end to the season for those guys, even despite the fact that he was throwing to my plumber and my cousin Joe out there. That was impressive. And yeah, those are just kind of, let's see, Packers, you guys just tanked that game. That was hilarious. That's something mental note for next year, because they tried to lose like from the start. I mean, that was kind of hilarious right there. I don't know what.
Yeah.
They were probably, the what do you call it? The Colts brought out the punt team on 1st and 10 and got the false start. I'm surprised you guys didn't just bring out the punt team and just punt it. Like, punt it. You guys get the ball back. Let's get this shit over with. Like, you were just, no one get hurt. Everyone make it through this game, and let's see you guys next week, which was pretty hilarious.
The thing is LaFleur never has done that, because obviously we've needed to win a couple of these games, but we literally lost Christian Watson, our only downfield threat last year, to an ACL tear in a game that didn't matter last year in the first half. So I'm like, we knew LaFleur wasn't going to do that again. I also got to give my shout out to Nine again, bro. Barely getting hit on his hand. He's like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm like, dude, you're playing fucking third stringers. This is your game, dude. And I love how like the first like 8 plays are all just force feed Justin Jefferson so he doesn't stab the guy. And I'm like, oh, you kind of expected that. And then says he's hurt. And then Brosmer comes in, and I mean, I think they threw the ball like 20 times. I don't know. I don't think they really did that, but there was that one. And then obviously Dan Campbell fucking beating the Bears twice. And they beat them when the Bears actually wanted to win. Like, the Bears played all their starters and wanted to win that game, but obviously didn't matter with the Eagles and stuff and all that stuff switching around. But hey, I don't know, man. Maybe it is something. Maybe Campbell's just knows. I guess I don't know. He's a terrible offensive play caller, but hey, if he finds a way to win, if you got any edge, even if it's just mental.
Well, he's just a dog. You know what I mean? He's gonna get those boys fired up. They're gonna go out there like I bet a little bit of Lions as 3.5 or whatever. Because just like they're so clearly gonna try incredibly hard. Like that's up Campbell's alley 100%. So at the end of the day, do I think the Bears are that much better than them? No. Do I think they should be getting this bump because the other team's limited? No. And also the Bears are just interesting. I'm very curious about the Bears because if you told me you're betting them to win the Super Bowl, like I wouldn't hate it. I think the odds are okay. I think the path is kind of solid. But man, like if you also told me they lost by 30 next week, I wouldn't be surprised. Games kind of get away from them kind of quickly. And obviously they've had these fourth quarter heroics. But if there's one thing we know from, a long history of football is that those are very high variance plays, and to consistently win on them is not going to last forever. You're not going to be able to heroically come back from every game. Being able to do it gives you confidence that you can do it again, but like beyond that, once it's playoff team, it's real fucking serious now. And I don't know if we can depend on fucking a safety that's been tossed around by 14 teams to come up with another crazy interception to win a game. Like, I don't know. I just don't think there's enough talent on the Bears team to do it, despite the fact that, once again, they've been playing good ball this year and they obviously deserve to be here. But yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup. Obviously, who doesn't love another division rivalry under the lights? That's going to be a good fucking game.
Yeah, in Chicago should be fun. I think the line has now flipped. I think the Packers were minus 110 or minus 112, and now the Bears are minus 112. So it's minus 112 to minus 108. So it's like they're right there, man. It's right there. I'm on DraftKings for that, obviously.
All right, before we get out of here, how many times did Josh Jacobs touch the ball in that game? How many fucking carries did
30?
Josh Jacobs win? Right?
Bro, they literally didn't play him 3 out of the last 4 weeks. The only time they did was against the Bears. He was fine. Packers, like I said, Packers should have won that game. They were like minus 25,000 with 3 minutes left, bro, and found a way to blow it. Josh Jacobs will run the ball 30 times in that game, and I'm ecstatic to see what they drop the rushing attempts line at, because I think it's only like 17 or 18. So I might just be going over there and fucking hammering that right now. Fuck, that might be my first bet of the week.
No, I had the same thought. I figured I'd ask you, but I kind of knew what you'd say. I mean, I think we're on the same page there. But yeah, no, that's going to be a great game. And I agree. I think both teams are just going to run the hell out of the ball, and we'll get another fourth quarter where everyone's, sweating their asses off, and we'll see who can take it away. And honestly, the other thing, now that we're just thinking about it for a sec, Jordan Love is going to throw at least 2 40-plus yard air yard passes. I don't know if he's going to connect on them, but when you run Josh Jacobs that much into a wall, and once again, obviously Bears, a lot of turnovers. I know they're going to want to avoid that, but their secondary isn't that talented. And I mean, I think this is one of those games where you just need one. And man, Christian Watson, like Reed, I mean, you got a bunch of guys that can do it. Even Big Helmet Dobbs. So yeah, we'll obviously get more in detail later in the week. But yeah, a lot of good games up here.
I mean, dude, I'm looking at this. How in the fuck are the Steelers only 3-point dogs? How are they going to score?
Yeah.
How are they going to score in that game? Sorry, you got me looking now. I'm on this sheet now, and I'm like, I watched that game last night, and I'm like, the 2 touchdowns to the tight ends, I think it was just over the middle there. There was no one within 10 yards. Yeah. That shit don't happen with the Texans team, man.
But it's like Hamilton was out. You lost your best player. So it's like, yeah, obviously the defense is going to be shit over the middle. Both safeties got hurt, and Wiggins got hurt. It's like,
I know, I get it, but bro, they're out. Like you'd think you'd plan, like they have to do it quick. You'd have to, like, you'd think you're just like, okay, they can't beat us over the top. They have 2 minutes to get down the field. And then obviously they did it in like 40 seconds. But that's the thing, is just like, you think you play underneath, because that's literally what Rodgers wants to do. The whole fucking game is just dink and dunk. But yeah, I get it with the Hamilton stuff. But I thought, when your best guy goes out, you just probably like, okay, well, we got to make up for it. Let's put 2 guys back there, or like play a little bit more like a normal prevent defense, like most teams do. But so I got to give my thanks to Tyler Loop as well. Sorry about that. Obviously missing a 40-yarder. They had 2 timeouts. Why the fuck didn't you run Derrick Henry 3-4 yards up the middle?
Great fucking question. That's a great fucking question. Well, I don't know the answer. I don't know why, but 100%. It was yeah. No, I don't know what there else is to say. Like, that was insane. It's not like it was 3 seconds and you're possibly gonna.
No, you had 19 seconds with 2 timeouts.
You could have run an end around. Like, you could have done whatever the fuck you wanted in that. So yeah, I have no clue why they just centered it, went back a yard or whatever, spiked it.
Went back a yard. You're in Pittsburgh. It's a rookie kicker. Like, give this guy a better chance.
Yeah. Oh, no, man. I'm fully there with you. I don't know. That's another kind of hardball. Like, what are we doing there? But yeah, it was interesting.
Last thing is Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers make the fucking playoffs, bro. The Arthur Smith hate train, that is Atlanta, finds a way to get out, and the train keeps cooking. The Steelers are like the perfect spot for Arthur fucking Smith, because it's like,
I hate that guy.
I hate him too. I can never bet on that team, but dude, you get Malik. They need to get Malik Willis over there. Then they would never pass the ball once. They might not pass.
Yeah, that would be his dream. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it's insane. The one thing I really did think we were going to get the fake Rodgers to tush push there at the end when they lined it up and he did the same kind of like hands behind the back, whatever bullshit. Like I thought we were going to get it there, but they just tush pushed again, which, you know, worked well. Obviously with the Hayward boys up there, it's hard to bring those guys down, but yeah, Texans a whole different beast. Texans are the best tackling team in football. So all those 3-yard, dump downs maybe aren't going to turn into 15-yard catches every single time. And then what the fuck do you do? Okay, we got DK Metcalf. Well, they got Derek Stingley. So, okay, you're back to MVS again. You don't even have
Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Adam Thielen. I could not believe I'm glad they didn't. I would have bet Thielen unders live. So I'm very glad no one posted that because he came out of nowhere with that down the field one on Marlon Humphrey, who in name value people still think is good. Marlon Humphrey's been one of the worst corners in football this year. I wish we got to bet against him more. That's one of the bummers of them losing because people still think it's like Lattimore earlier in the year. Like people go, oh, Lattimore, I'm sure he's like at least the best of the group. Like, no, he is by far the worst of the group. People just know him because of the podcast.
And Mike Evans.
Well, yeah, that's obviously a good beef as well. That's a fun one. But I mean, Mike, both of them look kind of fucking washed now. Both of them, going to Cancun anyway. So we'll see.
Hey, Cancun is a beautiful place. I was there this year. It's like, hey, you can go somewhere worse. You can go somewhere worse. So hopefully just for this week, the weather gets a little colder because it's 35 degrees here in Milwaukee. So it's like 30 degrees down in Chicago. No snow yet. It's all melted over the last week. We got a shit ton last week. So I'm like, you kind of want to have snow in that game, don't you? You kind of have to. Like that, just kind of have to do it like that. But it's been pretty warm this last week, so hopefully we get a little snow there. But we'll be back Wednesday, guys. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, have the notification bell on. Obviously, talking all these games a little bit more. I mean, Sue kind of got the pot stirring a little bit already here, but obviously we'll be talking a lot more in depth next. On Wednesday, so next show. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. Hopefully we can continue to add on to that 20 unit mark and keep cashing tickets with you guys. So appreciate your support throughout the regular season. It's time for playoffs.